are going deep, deep, deep with a sphere of influence expert. Matthew Hanks, we're going to ask you questions about how to make friends for the next 17 hours. Can you handle that?
17 hours?
No, I'm kidding. We got like 30 minutes blocked off. If we go deeper, if it goes longer, we'll figure out ways for people to connect with you. If you do not know our expert today, it is Mr. Matthew Hanks from, is it Gaston? Is that how you pronounce it? I always forget how to say it. Is it Gaston, North Carolina?
That's the county, Gastonia, the town, but we're just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina is our market. The big market we're in is Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. I always like to know say the actual town, so I feel like I'm a local, but I never say it right. All right.
Yeah, that's okay.
We got people here who already, I have a list of questions submitted before. If you are here live on the Zoom, Tanya, Margie, Janice, Allie, you can ask Matthew questions or are you here to field questions? Allie? Oh. Anyway, I know she can hear me. So we have Allie, who is Matthew Hanks' right-hand person here as well. So if anyone wants to start us off, Matthew does his entire business, not entire, but the majority of his business through sphere of influence. And roughly how many deals will you close from your sphere in the next 12 months, Matthew?
55 to 60 from the sphere. So we do about 100 overall annually, and over half come from our either past client sphere of influence. So last time we looked at it, it was 55 out of 100. So 55%, somewhere 50 to 60% is what we would plan on going forward.
That is fantastic. All right. So Tanya, Margie, and Zach, if you'll just keep an eye on the Facebook thread, I will keep my chat window open. You can cut and paste people watching on Facebook. If you guys have questions, please type them into the chat box, or if you're live on the Zoom, just unmute yourself and let's ask away. This is the no holds barred. You can ask Matthew anything. Otherwise, I will start us off. So Margie, Tanya, are you here to listen, or you guys got specific questions you want to ask Matthew? All right, I'm getting started. So we've got some questions over here. Let's see here. Chelsea G asks, what are the best ways to grow my sphere? Right. So assuming you're like maybe a newer agent or new to a town, they said social media, emailing, mailers, phone calls. Like, let's say you actually need to grow your sphere. What would you do, Matthew?
Well, it kind of depends on where everyone is in the process, because if you have a list of those who are already in your sphere, then you can start by growing your list. If you don't have that written out, I would say a very good place to start would be to create that list. And so I have a couple that I can share with you. You can Google, sphere of influence. You'll probably find lists there, but you start with those around you. So it's your family, friends, those that you've done business with in the past, and just start with that list. And if I was given advice about that, you could do one way to do it would be an Excel document if you just want to keep it really simple, or a Google sheet, and you've got the names down the left-hand side of the document, and let's say in column 1, and then just think of the ways that you'd like to touch those people and make contact, and put those in extra columns. So right beside it, you say, let's email them, let's call them, let's text them, let's have coffee with them. And then those are all, and then you just check as you go. So if you don't have the email address, you're going to find that out pretty quickly when you can't check the box that you've emailed them. And so the process of creating the list and then filling in the information about all of those folks in your sphere. And then like we're in real estate. I think we may have some folks joining or paying attention to this that aren't even in real estate. But being in real estate, what I would do is with that list, I would have a compelling offer that I wanted to present to my sphere. Let's say right now, property values are up in our area, just about in all markets. And let's say that you're looking for other opportunities to put homes on the market with a goal of growing their sphere. So you say, you could go right down the list and you call everyone on your list that you already have influence over. That's why they're in your sphere of influence. You have some type of influence over them. And you say, hey, there has never been a better time to sell a home. Lots of sellers right now are taking advantage of this great seller's market by offering their property to the market. Do you know anybody out there that you think might be open to an offer on their home, might be open to testing this seller's market right now? So by asking that question, who they're thinking about is those that are in their sphere of influence. And so when those referrals come in, now your sphere of influence is growing because the people that you're adding to your list based off of the information that they give you and the referrals that come in.
I love it. So when you say you're asking that question, and there's two things I want to unpack there. We'll go back to the did you call it an irresistible offer? Or what did you say? Compelling offer?
A compelling offer. Yep. In our market right now, getting more than you ever could before for your house. That's a pretty compelling offer.
Right. So let's talk compelling offer first, and then I want to talk about the way you're communicating with the people you're sending it out. So you and I were just in Dallas. I got to see Mr. Matthew Hanks in person for the first time ever. He's much taller in person than you'd expect, guys. He's like 6'7". I had no idea.
That's my best friend, 6'7". No, I'm no, I'm 6'1", but you were taller than I thought too, Jesse.
Apparently on Zoom we all look short. It's kind of funny. But
I think the cameras are mounted high, so we have this impression we're all short people walking around.
We were in Dallas, and Tony Robbins spoke, and Tony Robbins said something that stuck with me, which was, you need an irresistible offer for whatever you're doing. And so when you just said we make a compelling offer, do you have some other examples we can kind of rattle off? I don't want to put you on the spot, but just things you've used in the past, the idea of getting more money for your house than you've ever got. Absolutely irresistible offer. I love that. Can you think of any other ones, or if Allie wants to chime in, that you guys used in the past that are irresistible things like that for your sphere?
It could be related to lending, like if they're looking to refinance, if there's any lenders on the call or listening. So it could be that the interest rates are lower than they've ever been. Somebody wants to look at how much money they could save every month on their mortgage. Or it could be, right now we had another conversation this morning about someone who would like to buy a vacation home or a second home. They don't understand what options they have. Would you have any interest in a beach home or a mountain home? Those are things that start getting the wheels turning, and people respond to that. So.
I love it. All right. Margie's got a question, and then I want to go to how you're communicating those irresistible offers. Margie was asking, all right, so you put out this message that says, you can get more for your house than ever. How do you deal with the fact that right now, even though they can get more for their home, there's no inventory. And so they're also going to be paying more for the next house that they're going to buy when they're moving into it?
Okay, good objection there, or point that you're making, because it is, if you're just doing a lateral transfer, then yes, that is the case. You can make more, but then you're going to spend it right away. But here's the thing, everyone's situation is different. And we have found people who have always dreamed of building, and now's their time. They get the most of their house out they can of their house, and then they're going to do something temporary, like take a trip, or they're going to buy a camper and live on the land, and then they're going to go through the process of building, or they're going to move out of the area, or they're going to downsize and stay in a smaller home, or they're going to rent for a while. We just had a conversation with someone this morning, and she says, no, I'm going to rent for at least a year. I think the market is, if it's not at the top, it's close, and I'm going to sell where I think it is at the top or it's close, take that equity out of my home. I know I don't have to pay taxes on it, no capital gains taxes if it's been my primary residence. So you're going to have that money, rent for a while, wait it out as they see the market change and they get a better deal on their house. Then they put the money back into the real estate market. So that's one way to overcome that one.
I love it. Margie, I see you nodding. Did that answer your question? Cool. She gives a thumbs up. I know those of you on Facebook, you can't see everybody on the gallery, but and we did just have a couple celebrities join us on the call. Matt Fagioli from the Explode Conference's fave is now here. He doesn't have his camera on, so I'm not gonna put you on the spot, Matt. But if you got questions, Matt is also probably an expert at working a sphere. If you got questions, Matt, jump in for Matthew. I only have people with the same first name talk to each other. That's a rule on this show. If you have to be named Matt or Matthew to talk to Matthew? No, kidding.
Yeah, I accidentally joined. I saw Matt I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be on this call. I better join. But then I realized it was the other Matt. So sorry about that.
No worries at all. All right. So if you just joined us, or anybody watching, we are talking with a sphere of influence expert. Matthew Hanks will do like 50 to 60 deals this year out of his sphere alone, in addition to a lot of other deals, but that's a pretty significant amount of deals coming from your sphere. So if you have questions, Matt, jump on in. You got anything off the top of your head, or you want me to keep rolling?
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely do. Well, Matt, nice to virtually meet you. I see we're friends on Facebook though, which we should be, but, man, so I'm running a brokerage in Atlanta, among other things, and constantly talking to agents about Sphere, and they're always asking me like, what are the 10 best ways? What are the 5 best ways? Like, what are the things that I can do? If I'm not doing anything, and I can't believe how many great agents aren't really doing anything to stay in touch with their past clients. Yeah. What are the first 5 things that you should do?
Well, we spin our wheels collecting leads. You have to have leads in this business. It's like oxygen. So you can do all this effort every year to get new leads, or you can just take care of the ones you already have, that you're already doing 50, 60 deals a year, 100 deals a year, and stay in contact with them. I think the very first thing is you got to stay in contact. And what happens is we have the closing, we put it behind us, and we get the commission, and we move on with the other deals that we're working with. And those people aren't top of mind. And if they're not top of mind to us, we're sure not going to be top of mind for them. So then we become secret agents focused on the ones that we're working with hot every day, showing property, who's next to go under contract, what's the next closing upcoming. And we've forgotten about those people. And if we do that, then if you go back to the heart of the matter, it was really a matter of we were working with them for us. It was about us, because we got to the closing, we got the commission that we were really after, and now it's out of sight, out of mind. And so if you really care about those people, I mean, there's so many ways to follow up with them and reasons why to follow up and ways to do that. But the number one thing is just to stay in contact. You either at a bare minimum, put them on a drip campaign out of the CRM, so at least they're getting an email, or follow up. Do you have your 30-day follow up where you talk to them and say, hey, how's everything going in the house? Any last minute things? Anything else I can help with? So great to work with you. Ask them for referrals. If they were happy with the level of service that you provided, I bet they know somebody else that would appreciate that same level of service. So number one thing would be to remain in contact, some type of systematized contact that's going to happen without you having to be daily involved with it. As a quick example, we do the American Lifestyle magazine. So all of our clients, whenever they close, and this goes out every 60 days. So it's just something that hits their mailbox, and it's such a nice piece. It's not just a average mailer or a postcard that's going to go in the trash can. It's going to go on the coffee table. And plenty of our clients we'll meet with them, and they'll have multiple of these where we've mailed them over time, and they'll have it there. So it's something that's of value that you're sending to them.
What's the cost?
I've not seen that. I haven't seen that piece, Matt. Where is that something that you pay, third-party service to ship? And
yes. Yeah. It's you can sign up with a company called Reminder Media on something like this. There's plenty of ways to do it, but the company's Reminder Media as a way of staying in touch with your sphere of influence. This particular magazine is called American Lifestyle. And there's another one called At Home. Tammy, my business manager, has joined us. She has evaluated that one, but we like this one better. Lots of great content. There's pullouts in here. You can customize quite a few of the things in here. When you add your database, they will by name mention them in the printing on the inside, which is really nice. If this arrives in Jesse's mailbox and he opens it up, says, "Hi, Jesse, American Lifestyle," and it goes into whatever other wording we did. I mean, that you're going to appreciate that, right? You're going to hang on to that. And right at the front is a photo and compliments of Hank's Realty Group. They're about $4 a piece.
That was my question. So they're $4 a piece. And I know we had Don Mowry on one time talking about this. He does, I don't know if it's the same magazine or something similar. He has vendors that have, in a RESPA compliant way, sharing the marketing costs to produce those. Are you zero costing your advertising on that at this point?
Are we, Jesse? Is that a question?
Yeah.
So they are helping us with some of our events that we do and some of our other marketing. So yes, they are contributing to that. Yes.
Cool. Because for people listening, there's a way, even if you're like $4 a magazine, but I've got like 1,000 people, there's a way to co-market with your vendors in RESPA compliant ways and really reduce those costs.
Well, and you could also just pick your top 100 and do it that way. And, if you want to baby step into it.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Not everybody in the database. I mean, we have like 13,000 in the database. Tammy, can you unmute? How many do we have that's receiving that magazine right now?
There's right around 180 that we're sending to.
Okay. So that's every 60 days that magazine drops. So that's just an example of a way that we stay in contact. But I like that it's something that you can have going. You're looking for things that are repeatable and scalable and happen without your direct effort to stay in contact. So to us, that's one of those.
Yeah. Is there any reason you send me 10 copies of that magazine every 60 days? No, no, I'm kidding. Now he's like, what?
Yeah. Tammy, check the list.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
We'll add Jesse to the list.
I have by the way, I had Allie queue up a picture. Matt, you want to check this out. When Matthew's talking about how they stay in touch and it doesn't stop at closing, they do some pretty cool things that I'd never seen anyone do something quite like this. So Allie's going to share. This is a picture of what they do when someone on the, Matt, you want to explain what's on the screen here?
Sure. Yeah, that we have the whole goal we're trying to do is just to provide a wow experience for our clients and to really love on them. And this is the way that we did this. We've ordered these letters and we do birthdays too. But look at that. Is that not awesome? I mean, you'll have a client, every single one, whenever they do. Yeah, check her out. They are, they're sharing these on Facebook because they can't believe that, there's no cost for this. We're just doing this just because we care about them, and we want to stay in contact with them and bring value to them and make sure that they understand how much we care about them. So, yeah, so they'll tag us, all the way down the line. They'll tag us on this and put us out there on Facebook.
What's your cost to do something like that? I mean, I don't know if you're paying someone to go put them up, the actual letters. I mean, it can't be that much, right?
Well, we paid several $100s for the letters. We've got several sets at this point, because once we do one and then somebody else's birthday, we'll say, we can't leave them out. So we order another set. So at this point, we've got 4 sets, and then the welcome home and all. But we have a courier on our team that puts out our signs and drops off paperwork, picks up checks, stuff like that. So it's a little easier for us to do something like this because we have that as a resource. I bet most people, if you wanted to do something like this, there's somebody out there in your market that's looking for something part-time that would be a runner for you. Kind of like we talked about this week on Power Huddle, leveraging your time. Somebody's willing to part-time be a runner for you and could do that type of thing. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And it's a couple $100s for the letters, but how much is an average realtor.com lead or a Zillow lead these days? That's You're talking about like 2 leads for the set. I mean, I guarantee you're getting a better ROI on those letters. Has to be.
Yeah. The cost is a one-time cost. And then it's never a matter of where he's coming in just to put the letters out. We have other real estate things going on, and then we can just add that to his list. And it's really not that big of an investment.
Yeah. And if you're on Facebook, I know you can't see the gallery view right now, which is fine. I leave it. You can leave it on speaker, Zach, but just so I can see you guys in the gallery view, how many of you, show of hands, have ever seen anybody doing something like that with the welcome home or the happy birthday? And Matt knows a lot of realtors. I know a lot of realtors. I have never seen anything like that. It is so creative and so clever. But was that your own idea, Matthew? Did you R&D it from someone?
That's a good question. I think it might've been. Tammy and Allie, correct me if I'm wrong there. Y'all were there at the beginning. Where did that idea come from?
Well, for Gabe's birthday, which is Matthew's oldest, they ordered something similar for his birthday. And I think it was a week that Matthew wasn't feeling well. So he was out of the office, which drives him crazy. But to keep his mind busy, he was thinking about, of course, our clients and how to improve, our appreciation towards them, because we value them like no other. We love our clients. We want to be who we are without them. So he, I guess, was masterminding a little bit and said, well, we already have the courier that puts out our signs for us every day. Why don't we try to do maybe like happy birthday or welcome home, or, because we have that system in place. We just need to figure out how to make the signs and where to order them from. I mean, imagine people pulling up and having that in their yard. I mean, you'll never forget that experience. Well, and they'll take photos and share it. And, it's like life-changing almost. And we enjoy it. We look forward to getting these photos because you can just see it in their eyes about how excited they are. And it's just great. So that's where the idea came from.
Well, and I think I've seen it with the COVID, with all the drive-by senior graduations and just all of that, but I didn't put it into perspective with a real estate, but that's an awesome idea. Yeah.
He has.
There's really companies that you can get and they'll, place them for you and stuff like that. I started checking into it, but I didn't think about it for real estate. So that's cool.
Yeah.
It's Matthew and or Allie, whoever, how do you handle like Thanksgiving, Christmas? Like, do you guys have anything like really different and creative on certain holidays that you do?
Well, Christmas, there's a lot going on at Christmas. I mean, it's our favorite holiday too, but there's just so much other stuff going on and everybody mails at Christmas. So to get ahead of that and to catch them before everything gets crazy, mad, out of control down around the holiday time, we focus on Thanksgiving. And so, which sometimes people say Hanksgiving to play with our name, but we do Thanksgiving. And the past 3 years we have done a pie giveaway and our office turns into like Pie Central. I mean, it's like a bakery in here and we order, Tammy, last year, was it 200 pies?
Yes.
So we did 200 pies, and it's not the standard small ones that you get at the grocery store. We buy from we actually went to Sam's Club where they got the big pies, and we did apple, we did pecan, and we did pumpkin. And so it gives us an excuse to call a touch point with our clients to even find out what type of pie they want. Then we talk to them about what are their travel plans? Has it been a good year? What all's going on with the holidays? Are they in town? It's a great touch point. Then we make a note of who they are, which pie they want, and then we invite them to the office, and we stay late 2 nights that week leading up to Thanksgiving. We got all the pies here. We take it out of the Sam's Club packaging and put it in a nice bakery box. So it looks fresh baked from a custom bakery, not from mass purchased, which is what we actually did. But all the stuff from Sam's is great quality. I mean, they delicious pies. Mm-hmm. And we even did our own aprons. So like we made them in office. So we've got purple aprons with our logo on there, and we're all here as a team, and just gives us a chance to love them. They're coming in. Hey, so good to see you. Hope it's been a great year. You know, how's the kids? All that sort of thing. We have their pie for them. We know which one they wanted, and we give them the pie. And if they're too busy, they got a lot of stuff going on, they can't come get it, we'll deliver it to them. That's what we do the night before Thanksgiving. We deliver the pies to their house. And that gives you a chance to talk to them or leave it for them or whatever. But it's just a connection point. And we figure if we do that every Thanksgiving, if we've touched them on their birthday, we've touched them on Thanksgiving. And because people, the natural tendency is if someone gives you something that you want to reciprocate, like you have this feeling of gratitude and it overcomes you and you want to do something for the other person. If someone hands you a card, it's a natural tendency. You want to give them your card. It's just back and forth, human nature. So if we lead with value and we're just always giving, that's something I learned from my dad. He was, watching him in business for years and years, is he just provided value, just gave all the time. And so we do the same thing. We lead with value, and we're always looking for ways to add to the client experience in the real estate transaction, and then looking for ways outside of real estate to add value.
Yeah, I just dropped into the chat box, by the way, Matt, in case you missed it. The last agent power huddle that Matthew Hanks hosted was on tips to increase your sphere of influence. And he actually expanded on a number of different events. So if you want to see 30 minutes of Matthew just going through events and checklists, I just dropped into the chat box. And Zach, if you can cut and paste that YouTube link over to Facebook also for everyone watching on Facebook. Awesome. Oh, and Matthew, you're hosting tomorrow as well on the same topic?
I am.
That's what Zach just told me. We're doing part 2 tomorrow. So Friday morning, the August 27th, you're going to be
awesome.
Going deeper on sphere of influence tomorrow. Let's see.
Allie, remind me, I'm hosting tomorrow.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. This is an event that we did in our neighborhood, one of our farm neighborhoods. And this is where this was just a couple of weeks ago. We did a big cornhole tournament. We did a popcorn machine. We did cotton candy. That table right in the middle. Can you guys see that? Is this screen share working?
Hey, I see it. Yep.
Okay, right in the middle. You talked about our vendor partners, Jesse. They're the ones that provided all these prizes on the table. So we were able to get, we scored the points that we were bringing the prizes and putting the event together and putting the effort in. They're the ones that provided these prizes. And so we did the cornhole tournament and gave away nice prizes. I mean, these were like hundreds of dollars each prizes, gift cards, that bag, that orange bag, never heard of that, but he brought that as like $130 bag. So it was a great way to connect with everybody, put a face with a name. This right here is a jar of golf tees, and they guessed how many tees were in the jar. It allowed us to get everybody's name and number so we can follow up with them and have contact with them, add them to our database. Let me see if I can click through this, because I think I had a couple of different photos.
And as you're going through the photos, I'm going to...
There's our cornhole boards and the tables that we had set up.
Yeah, as you're going through this, Letitia has a question from Facebook, which if we have time, I know we got about 6 minutes. She wants to know about if you use a closing gift and what that looks like. So after we do events, maybe we can answer that question on closing gifts. And Matt sent me a message. Can you mention that? Absolutely, Matt. If you got something you want to add in before we wrap up about a free tool, happily share it, man. Go ahead, Matthew. So you got tips on
closing gifts. Our philosophy is we don't like standard closing gifts. We don't want to give the same thing to everybody. And so we like to personalize it. And so our team has a huddle 3 days a week, 8:15 in the morning as we get our day started. And we have an agenda that we follow on that huddle. And so we go through the agenda. And one of the items on the agenda is closing gifts, specifically closing gifts. And we'll talk about the next 3 or 4 closings that are, Tammy keeps our pipeline. We know when the closings are. We know if they're in our office or at the attorney's office, and we'll bring it up right there. And I want to hear what the closing gift is. And in one of the rooms in our office, we have them all laid out. So we have a table there, and the next 3 closings, the next 3 gifts should be there. But we have found that the key is for it to be personalized. So we just had a client closed on a house, and multiple times as we got to know him through the transaction, he brought up he liked tequila. Well, he sold a home and he bought a home. So guess what we gave him on the closing gift for the first one was a decanter, customized. I think that's what you call it. I know it is for wine, you call it that, but the glass thing that holds the tequila, okay? And it had his name across that was engraved on it. So it was a nice piece and it had his name on it and it had a purple bow around it. So closing gift. And so he was blown away because, gift card, whatever, it's not going to be something memorable for him. So the idea is to bring value to them. So it was personalized to him. Well, then we turned around a couple of days later and he bought, well, guess what it was then? We ordered some high-end tequila for him. Now, tequila's not my thing, but it's his thing. And so he was able to know this isn't just something off the shelf or something generic. We did something personalized just for him. So I try to think of it in terms of if I am the client, put yourself in their shoes. What's going to make me feel special? Is it going to be a gift card to Outback? Or is it going to be a Hallmark card? What is it? And if you've gotten to know your client the way that we really should in a real estate transaction, if we're going to be competitive against the technology options that they have these days, or the other agent down the street, what makes you different? Well, we connect with our clients and we know them and we truly care about them. And so we should be in a position after working with them for weeks to be able to come up with something personalized, a wall hanging, we love putting their name on it, or
I love it.
Something that's just for them. So
I just want to say, I realized I have a physical in-person meeting in a few minutes. So I'm going to let Matthew Hanks continue to go. If you guys spend, I don't know if you got 3 more minutes, Matthew, or 5 or 10. Matt's got a tool he wants to give out. That's a free tool. I'm like, dude, absolutely sure. So I'm going to turn this over to Matthew, and Matthew, you guys keep rolling for 5, 10, whatever time you got. And this is so good. That's what I say. Thank you. This has been so amazing, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse. Good luck on your appointment.
All right. Jesse.
Bye, guys.
Well, and hey guys, I have a call at 2 as well. So I'm going to go in a minute, but I wanted to share something with you. I didn't even think about this till I got on, but I'm doing some work for a company in the real estate space called the Red X. They have a brand new free CRM tool that's called Sphere. That's not in the public yet, but I can get it for you if you want. If you want to be part of the beta test of this thing, it's free. And what's cool about it is it automatically grabs all of your contacts out of your phone and it walks you through this sorting process of, is this an A, is this a B, is this a C, and sorts all your contacts for you. And then every day it just gives you 10 people to call in your phone. So it's like a very simple CRM. So if you're looking for something like that, or you want to test it, just drop me an email and I'll get you a link to the beta. But I just thought it might be relevant to the conversation. I just put my email in the chat. So if that's something you want to test out, just drop me an email. And but good tips, Matthew. I was glad to get to actually meet you. I don't know if we've ever met face to face, but we should do that.
Yeah, look, that would be great. Look forward to it. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Thank you. So one of the questions that I often get is, so if you have your sphere of influence, like what would be, and you want to contact them, you want to get in touch on what is the thing that you would do. And I'll just give you a quick tip on that. We have a local baseball team and we bought season tickets and it was so fun. I don't care for baseball too much, but we bought the tickets to give to our clients and our sphere of influence and our past clients. And it was so fun making that call. And it goes from, as a real estate agent, you want to stay in touch, and the idea of calling and say, hey, just staying in touch, just wanted to give you a call, and you're not really sure what to say. It changes everything when you call and you have something of value that you're offering them. Hey, you guys into baseball? You guys, having a good summer? We got season tickets. Love to offer them to you. It changes everything about that call and makes it far easier. The idea of picking up the phone and being in touch with a group of people that you kind of feel bad about that you haven't talked to them in a year or 2 years or 10 years. It changes everything when you have something of value that you're leading with and you're offering them something. Mm-hmm. Changes everything. So Matt listed out his email address there. If anyone is interested in that CRM add-in called Sphere that he just described, his email address is there in the chat. You guys can grab that. Other questions? We're up against the top of the hour here at 2:00. We had planned for this to go until 2, but if there's other questions, I'm happy to stay on and answer those. You guys let me know. I am not monitoring the Facebook, so if anybody's putting the comments there.
Yeah, I'm monitoring.
Okay, thank you, Zach.
There are no other questions right now.
Okay, closing gift. Yep, we just covered that one. Awesome. Well, one of my favorite topics. So super happy to cover this today. And Zach, we could do a follow on. Oh, I guess tomorrow we are 11 o'clock
tomorrow.
On the East Coast.
Then tomorrow we can re-promote this too. This should be on YouTube and as a podcast by tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Well, I really appreciate you having us on, Zach.
Yeah, great job. Appreciate you doing it. Yeah.
Happy to do it. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
All right, thanks everyone.
Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.